What's up, my friends? Modern Horizons 3 pre-release weekend is upon us. It's also Comic-Con weekend, so there's a lot going on, but I am back from the Modern Horizons 3 pre-release. I got my kit, and we're here to talk about some magical goodness. So first things first, let me share the live stream link in the Discord, and we will go from there. Let's get this out of the way so I can actually see my whole screen. All right. Dun, 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 dun. All right, there we go. That's good. That's good. Let's see here. Hellos! Go to Gossett, Jess, Aang, Kensuke, Balder, Shelton, Honorless, Ned, Juglum. Who else do we got in here? Yamagoro, Aura, Felonious T, Zircon, Maritimus, Fisher, Octopus. Hello, Maritimus has membership messages. Have a great stream, perp. Well, you know what? I'll raise my mug of Kool-Aid to that, buddy. Woo, just $125 for pre-release. Sweet. No prize support. It's not quite to that level, but this isn't this the most expensive pre-release there has been? And I mean, I gotta be 100% real. I don't feel like Wizards. It's not like this pre-release is. It costs twice as much as other pre-releases, but you don't get twice as much fun out of it, right? So that part of it, the price part, is a sticking point. More people showed up than I thought would, so there is that. Doomblade, you were thinking about going to the pre-release, but Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, I don't know what the hell that is. Is that a drink? Just became available for pre-order? Well, get yourself a jug. Kitsune, you get to watch me on the drive home from pre-release. Nice. Out for some pre-release action. That's good times. I didn't do too badly with my pulls. That's for sure. I did not do too badly at all. Honorless, you got an LGS near the dropped the price $10 and the only prize is a guaranteed pack for entering. The one I went to works like this. Wizards sends out packs to go with all the pre-release kits. So everybody gets 2 packs for coming out and playing along with your kit. And if you went undefeated, then you get a 3rd pack. So it's not a prize heavy, like hardcore competitive, trying to win a whole box style tournament. Some people like that, some people don't. I can go for either or. Like a big prize structure is fine by me. I've won a bunch of boxes that way. Or just having it flat like that is cool by me, especially nowadays where I'm like, okay, I got a couple of extra booster packs out of the deal. So that's all right. Nothing to complain about there. Fisher, spoilers for a Lego Transformers Bumblebee got leaked today. Cool. That new Legend of Zelda Deku Tree Lego kit looks pretty awesome. But the price point is so insane that I was like, yo, are they taking notes from Wizards of the Coast and how to overcharge people hardcore? Because $300 or whatever it is, like US for the Deku Tree? I don't think so. Shelton, never thought about going to pre-releases. Having internet for the month is more useful in your mind? Well, that is absolutely wise of you, honestly. You're going to get a lot more out of the internet for a month than you would out of one pre-release, right? Felonious T was $60 where you were in a pack a win. It was $80 tax in where I am, and that's Canadian dollars. So $80 and you get 2 booster packs. Or it was too expensive for you? Well, you're not alone, man. There's a bunch of people who felt that way. How frequent were the fetch land pulls? I don't know. I didn't get any, but my buddy got one, so meh. On the same shop for the Baldur's Gate set kept the collector packs they were sent. Wizards of the Coast hoses game stores pretty hard, and depending on how stores choose to handle things, I don't know, man. I don't know. I have no idea for each individual store. I just know it's rough. Like, these pre-release kits were way more expensive, but that's not because the game stores get to make a whole bunch more money, right? It's not like they get the majority of it. So, I don't know. I don't know. What up, Potts? How you doing, buddy? So yeah, the price point's the biggest sticking issue for me. But let's take a look. Let's take a look at what I got. I didn't get the purple die like I was hoping for, but that's no big deal. This spin down is the same difference as any other ones. Oh, that's right. My buddy brought me some art cards too. I got some art cards in my kit, but he also brought me some art cards from his stuff. Or maybe this is this all from, oh, is this just stuff from the Modern Horizons he cracked? I guess he opened a bunch. I guess he opened a whole bunch. Yep. Yeah, this is all Modern Horizons 3 stuff. Oh, this looks cool. What's this? Copy land. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So I ended up getting the awesome Schillingar artwork, which I'm super, super happy with. Yamagoro, people show up to the pre-release events at your LGS if you have the endurance to stay until 8 a.m. Oh, I'm not staying in any like long overnight tournaments. None of that. I want my sleep, you know? If I don't have enough sleep, I'm an unhappy camper. Like, I gotta figure out what time to get up tomorrow to go to the Comic-Con where I can get enough sleep, but also not show up too late at the event. Eric, support your LGS any way you can, but the pre-release for Modern Horizons is too expensive for you. Fair enough, man. Fair enough. So I mean, yeah, the cost of this pre-release, this is an untenable price point as far as I'm concerned. Brent, you gonna pretend like you don't know what this is? You know what it is. You know what it is. Okay, so let's see here. I'm gonna switch the view. I'm gonna switch the view. I did get some pretty nice stuff in my kit. Some of it was kind of but I got in the category. I got Roshin the Roaring Prophet. Pretty underwhelming. Hold on, I'm gonna fix this focus a little bit. Let me tweak it a little bit. Let me tweak that ball bag, yo. Okay, there we go. That's better. All right, so I got Roshin, Roaring Prophet, and at first I was literally going to play red, green, black from the cards that I pulled, but I realized that going that route wasn't really going to work out for me. I had also considered going with the Necro Bloom for like white, black, green, but ultimately I just ended up playing black, green. So I got those. I got Psychic Frog. I got Thelia. Whatever. I got Winter Moon with some jank along the bottom of the card. Totally. Like, I was just like, come on, man. It's like beat up along the bottom of the card out of the pack. That's rough. Haunted. Roshin's one of the weaker cards of the set. Agreed. I didn't have X cards to take advantage of it. But I did end up scoring some fun rares in the form of Carrick, who I didn't really get to see in action, but whatever. I really like Carrick. And White of the Reliquary, proved to be a really useful card, actually. I really got some good use out of this guy, right? So, in terms of beefiness, though, I got my promo. My promo was a foil Necro Dominance. Can't complain about that. Can't complain about getting that big juice bag, right? And on top of it, I also happen to get this guy. Millmaster! My deck, I've got it right here. Got my deck in my hands, son. Got my deck in my hands. So, I went green-black. I went for green-black, and this ability on the white, it's got vigilance, so you can swing with it, and then use this ability after you've attacked. So it gets +1/+1 for every creature in your graveyard, right? Which is not too shabby, because you can feed more creatures in your graveyard. But you can tap them, sack a creature, go through your deck for a land. Not a basic land, any land. So I could go and fetch up the landscapes, put those out, and then I could sack them to get the basics from my deck, thinning my deck even faster, right? So that was really awesome. And I had some cards that had some really great synergy, specifically with White of the Reliquary. There was, where is it? Where is that guy? You got the Eldrazi Repurposer, so when it comes out, it makes a 0/1 spawn, and when it dies, it makes a 0/1 spawn. So that was great fodder for this guy. I had, what's it called? Card I didn't even know existed before the event. Where is he? Propagator Drone. This guy right here, pretty solid. 2 mana, 2/2. Creature tokens you control have evolve. So whenever a creature comes out that's bigger than them, they get a +1/+1 counter. And for 4 mana, it makes a 0/1. So you can literally sacrifice those 0/1s to this guy to go ham. And also, the evolve ability was pretty nice to have alongside Wormcoil Larva, right? Like that's pretty sweet, man. Who else did I get some alright use out of? Oh yeah, Evolution Witness. This is alright. Turn it into a 4/3 and getting a permanent back from your graveyard. Not too shabby. I used this Hateful Nonsense Signature Slam. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of the WW Def action, but whatever. I got a foil Breathe Your Last. So that was not too shabby. But yeah, I didn't have too much craziness in the deck overall. This guy's not too bad either. Kami of Jealous Thirst. 3 mana for a 1/3 Death Touch. And you pay 5 mana, your opponent loses 2 life, you gain 2 life. It costs 5 less if you've drawn 3 cards, but I had no way to draw 3 cards. So it was impossible for me to use that ability for free. But still, when you're sitting there in one of those kind of locked board states where it's like, yo, I can't punch through, you can't punch through, but we can sit back. Well, it's like, well, I'm going to come out ahead on that because I can just spend the mana to start draining your life off. So that was pretty sweet. And I actually had 2 of those guys. So he's not too shabby at all, right? This guy was all right too. He's all right for making little guys to feed to the White of the Reliquary as well. And then this card was nuts. The blood-soaked Insight it was nuts. It costs 7 mana, but it costs 1 less for every life your opponent's lost this turn. So if you attack them, whatever you hit them, however much you hit them for, it reduces the cost by that much. So I was actually able to get a 5 cost reduction on this, and it lets you take the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck, exile them, and you can cast them till the end of your next turn, and mana taps for mana any color. Like, that is not too shabby dabby at all, right? That's most of the excitement, I suppose, I have out of the deck. In terms of foils, I got a Nightshade Druid. Not too bad. 2 mana, 1/2 Death Touch, taps for either a mana of any color or colorless. Can also be used to wonk out a dude, right? Use it to block. This guy right here can be used to deal with problems. I got to do this to a Johnny. Johnny never got to watch Jazzle die because I jazzled all over him with my breathe your last. Breathe your last, Johnny! Where's the other stuff? Where is the other stuff? These are just comments on comments, I think. Yep. Oh, okay, here they are. That's right. I put them in the plastic sleeve. I got 3 art cards in my packs. So I got thems. That's pretty sweet looking, man. That's pretty intense right there. And then I got a foil forest, foil Nyxborn unicorn, foil ghost fire slice, a foil mountain. I had a cursed mirror and a party thrasher. Party thrasher seems kind of funky. It's like 1/4 for 2 non-creature spells you cast from exile have convoke. At the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, you can discard a card. If you do, exile top 2 cards of your library, then choose one of them. You may play that card this turn. This almost made me play some red, but I didn't end up doing it. Also, there was a loot. There was a loot in my pre-release kit. The game store owner literally sat there and like slowly pried open a pre-release kit. Didn't look at the, I know he didn't look at the contents and decide like to keep whatever pre-release card for himself, or he would not have left that Necro Dominance. But he pried open the pack and jammed a loot in there. So I opened the kit and I'm like, there's a loose card in here. I'm all like, wizards and they're terrible to production values. And then I pulled it out and I'm like, it's a loot. And I promptly put the pile of cards down, walked all the way up to the front of the game store and said, fuck you. He had a good laugh. Apparently the first thing that happened when the one guy who works at the game store came in, he was like, hey, the owner of the store was like, yo, does this kit, does there look like there's anything weird about this kit to you? And he said, nope. I admit that when I pulled the like ripcord thing, it unsealed slightly odd. And I was just like, why is it opening this way? A little bit weird, but not enough for me to clue in that it had been like tampered with. And by tampered with, I mean he just threw a loot in there. Obviously, this kit turned out to be a pretty solid one. Not as amazing as the one I opened for him, where it was the foil Ulamog plus the flooded strand. But overall, had some niceness in it. I said I was going to use this as the commander for my deck. So yeah, he looted me. He looted me once again. He got me good. He got me good with that one. Balder, no more ads for arena only art cards. The art cards are the goodness, man. The art cards are the goodness for the Lord of the Board action. So I got a whole stack of them today. Because my one buddy bought a set box and a collector's box and the commander decks. And I'm just like, that's insane. You spent like $1,000 on all of this. That's so nutty. I do like the art cards, man. The art cards are nice and glossy. Like, why do the art cards have no production issues? For real. Can anybody explain that to me? I have yet to find a low quality art card. Why are the art cards not garbage? Everything else is, right? Like, for real. For real. What up, Quill? That's right, Highwind. I will never escape loot. Octopus, you're stoked about the Cephalid Coliseum reprint? I got one of those, actually, in my kit. I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I just saw Dog Umber, but my brain read it as Dog Surge. I don't know how it did it, but it did. And I'm like, Dog? Oh, it's because right before it was a Brain Surge. I'm like, Dog Surge? What the hell is Dog Surge? I got a Priest of Titania as well. That's not too shabby. Oh, there it is. Cephalid Coliseum. So, man, it is easy to generate energy in Modern Horizons 3. Do they use the same card stock? I presume not, but even so, shouldn't the front, like, I mean, that's an excellent question, honestly. I wonder what the card stock does look like. Let's see what happens when you pump some light into it. What the heck was that? I just turned on the flashlight and my phone started buzzing. All right. Looks pretty purple. What do the normal cards from this set look like? Oh. Huh. It looks like they have the same cores, actually. Yeah. It looks like they're identical cord. So these have actual genuine magic card cores? That's surprising to me. I would have thought that they would vary that, but it looks like it's identical. Oh, that's what the buzz was. Bo Falcon! Thank you for the fat Comic-Con super chat, big boy. Oh, you're the man. Thanks, buddy. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Me and Carly are fucking stoked about it. She's such a sweetheart, too. She knows how I am about particular things. Oh, hold on. Bo, let's make you the uncontested lord of the board. Ain't nobody gonna dislodge you. Are you not? Did you say nothing in the chat? What is going on, Bo Falcon? Is this because you're in 14 different streams right now? I feel like you're becoming like her, like the AI, right? And I have connected with more people than you can possibly conceive of. Yeah, you didn't even say anything in the chat. You lurker. You beautiful lurker jerker. Oh yeah, so you're just listening. Well, that's fine. You like to watch. You like to quietly watch in the corner, but you keep your pants on. You're allowed to take one pant leg off, I guess, because of this, right? One pant leg. So stupid, but it makes me laugh. So I ordered the tickets for Comic-Con when we talked about it a couple months ago, right? 100%. And when it came time to like start getting ready, I'm like, okay, let me double check the tickets and all this. And it's like, okay, you can scan them off your phone probably. It says to print them out. I don't know. Probably they'll let you scan it on your phone there, right? Because, that just makes sense. But I like to have printouts of that kind of stuff when you can. It makes me feel more comfortable, right? Where I'm just like, I physically have a ticket. What if there's a problem with the internet on my phone? What if my phone glitches out? There's a number of reasons where it's like I can't access my tickets, but like a piece of paper, like this is like a piece of paper. I can access this. I got it in my pocket. Don't even think of pretending I don't got this paper. So on the computer, when you go print ticket, it shows a full page. Oh, sweet. Awesome. I just got a response back about there's a sponsored video that's coming out on my Hatcher channel a week from today. And I made this video like almost 6 months ago. Like the sponsorship, we started talking about it back in September, and I finished the video, and then he was like, I want to wait until June. And I was like, you're the boss. Cool. Let's do it your way. And then we hadn't spoken in months and months and months. And I emailed him a couple of times, but it was the bottom of an email chain. So I didn't know if he got it or what was going on. So I sent him another one today saying, yo, like starting a fresh chain going, hey, so this is the date that I have to release the sponsorship. Are you good with that? Because just want to double check in case things have changed. I want to make sure it's all good. So it's awesome getting the confirmation on that. Back to Ball Falcon, you're trying to go to sleep. You got an early work day. All right, get that rest. get that rest, buddy. I got an earlier than usual day tomorrow too. So when it comes to printing out the tickets for Comic-Con, it's an entire page, and it specifically says you need this entire page. You need the whole page to count as your ticket, right? So I'm like, okay. So I send it over to Carly because she's got everything hooked up for the printer for hers through her phone, right? So when you go to email, like when you go to print them through the phone, all it does is show you barcodes with no name, no other identifying information, just barcodes. And she was just like, they can check the stuff from your phone, right? And I'm like, yeah, I'm sure they probably can. And she's like, but are you going to be more comfortable if you have printed tickets? And I'm like, yeah. And so then when she printed them out and they were just the barcodes, I was like, that doesn't match what I see on the screen. And so that just made me more concerned that the printout that I had wasn't going to work. So she went to all the trouble to get the images like they were on the actual computer and print them out. So I'm going to have my phone with the codes, but I've also got the printouts now, which make it way easier for me. I like to know everything. I like to know what buses I need to take, when I need to take them, where I need to be to do that, when those buses start and stop running, all that kind of stuff. The location of where we're going to be, all of it. All of it. Bo Felgen, let someone else claim Lord of the Board. Start fresh. You got it. You got it. I shall make the board smooth as a baby's bottom and ready for one of these degenerates, as you wish. There you go. An unmolested board. Brent says Perp's boomer trait is he needs to have stuff printed out on real paper. I probably have like 100 boomer traits. I feel super old world. I don't like when I see somebody get on the bus and they just scan their phone. I'm like, why would you buy a bus pass on your phone? What if your phone runs out of fucking batteries or isn't working or whatever, or it can't get a connection? You just can't ride the bus. But with a fucking physical bus pass, if you put it in and it doesn't work, they don't go, fuck you, get off the bus. They just go, I can see you have a pass. Go ahead. So you get free rides sometimes. But if your phone's not working, you're like, I promise you I have a bus pass. They can be like, get off. Hit the bricks, ugly. You know what I mean? Like, for real. For real. Like, this right here is how I like to roll. Maybe I'm old school. Not maybe. I am old school. Like, I was talking with the guy who runs the game store, and he was talking about, where was it? He said he was? Korea? I think it was Korea. And wherever he was, he said like it was like a heavy cash culture and everyone carried cash and like that's how you did things. And I'm like, I like that. I like that. I fully acknowledge that when you have a credit card and a bonus point system that it can benefit you. But I like physical monies, you know? Like the coins and the bills and stuff. And it never fails because of a power outage or whatever. Like that kind of stuff doesn't stop you from being able to use it, right? Juggle them, use the codes at the booth. The booth gives you a convention pass. I just need to have the right documents. There's all these things that make it sound like you get hosed if you don't have the right stuff. So I just want to have the right stuff because if I, like the difference between having the printout versus not having the printout is being worried the entire way there that there's going to be a problem and I can't get in. So I'm going to start my day that way. I'm waiting for the bus. Oh, I hope we don't miss the bus. Plus, hope I can get into the event. Oh, we're on the bus. Great. Now we have to catch the next bus. Hope we don't miss that bus. Hope I can get into the convention after taking multiple buses to get there, right? Like I have to take multiple buses just to get to Niagara Falls. And then more buses when I'm there to get to this place. It's a lot. It's a lot of boost riding. Oh, Millmaster says, fuck off, Bo Falcon. All right, Millmaster has claimed the board. So having the piece of paper removes that element of, are we going to have a problem when we get there? Are we going to have a problem when we get there? Are we going to have a problem? Like, I can't relax when I'm going to a place. I can't relax until I'm there. Unless I'm going to a place where there's no ticket to get in, so I know I can just walk in the door, and I'm getting a ride from like a buddy of mine or something, right? When that happens, what is going on here? When that happens, come on, man. Come the fuck on, you ugly, stupid bitch. Like, what the fuck is this? You filthy hooker Vaseline rubbed skank. What the fuck? Ugh. Hold on. This is ridiculous. Ugh. It's still bad. There we go. That was so annoying. That was so annoying. Blaze, printouts are fine, but you can just screenshot the barcodes and you don't have to worry about your phone's internet. But your phone could still be out of power, could malfunction. There are multiple options. Paper doesn't malfunction. Nothing's going to go wrong with a piece of paper in my pocket. It never has, right? If I catch on fire, but then I have bigger problems. You feel me? Every day says, give me the board. All right, you can have it. You can have it. Brent, you feel gross. You gotta wash your hands every time you touch money. Oh yeah, if you touch money, you gotta wash your hands before you eat. That's just a given. But it's always been like that. And who cares? Who cares? Every day, $2.79 and feeling fine as the Lord of the board. Paper meet Mr. Water. Well, it's in an inside pocket. So I guess if I'm drowning, I guess I don't have to worry about it then, right? See these fears. Water. Oh, that's right. Paper gets wet. Jeez. I wonder what ruins electronics. I wonder if water, like if you just throw your phone in the toilet, does it work right? Oh no. Oh, so your whole argument of water versus paper, water versus phone is also a loss, dickheads. So it's like, what if that piece of paper gets hit by a transport truck? What if your cell phone does? Right? So water ain't an argument. Did you guys not think about that? This ain't fucking paper, rock, scissors. All right? All right? Scissors are actually more of a concern. Jess, your phone you can take in the shower, though. It survives rain. I doubt it. I highly doubt that. Juglum, I better have a good time because now you said that you're sure of it. And if I don't have a good time, that makes you a fucking lying piece of shit because you were sure of it. Like you were positive that was going to happen. ZZ says paper isn't weak to magnets. That's right. Fucking magnets. How do they work? And I don't want to talk to a scientist. Also, you people in the chat are lying and getting me pissed. That's right, EMPs. There you go. There you go. Just another point in my favor. Like, let's say there's a solar flare that shuts down all technology. I still get to go to the Comic-Con because I've got paper. Checkmate, motherfucker. Paper covers cell phone. Nothing, a good phone case makes a difference. You're not wrong about that. You're not wrong about that. Zircon, if your phone dies, you use a hotel computer or upstairs store to print it out. The fuck is an upstairs store? Just walk up any store that's upstairs and be like, excuse me, I need to print something out. What the fuck are you talking about? The fuck is that? I'm going to the upstairs store. I don't think there's anybody upstairs. I don't think there's anything stored upstairs. Turns out fire is a bit of a mutual destructor. I feel like phones can survive fire a little longer than paper. Like, if you just go like this with paper, boop, into a flame, it can already be getting it. If you did that with a phone, your phone's going to be fine, right? It's going to be fine. Zircon, the UPS store? Oh, okay. All right. No tech, no Comic-Con. Well, I got the piece of paper, and I'm going in anyways. Everyone else might be freaking out, but I'm going in to take a picture of an old beat up, I don't know, Honda from a movie that I haven't seen or something. I've never been to one of these, so I don't know what there will be aside from the people, right? Any collectibles I'm looking for or interested in? I'm not like specifically going trying to get anything specific, you know? The whole point is to have the experience. Part of the limitations that we have is that Carly's disability makes it difficult for her to do things for extended periods of time. Like doing a bunch of walking can cause her flare-ups. She's got all kinds of little like issues that we need to be aware of so that she doesn't have a bad time, because she's a sweetie and she'll keep her mouth shut when things aren't going well for her because she wants to make sure I'm having a good time, and then that just will lead to a bad time because she's very important to me and I don't want her to be uncomfortable or overextended. So when it comes to different things, like that's why I didn't sign up for like let's do like a 3-day Comic-Con thing and try and get a hotel room and do all of it. It's more just like, let's go for one day. We'll see what the experience is like, because I don't know if it's going to be something that I'm like, yeah, this was great, or if this is going to be something where I go, I was indifferent to it, or I'm going to be like, oh, that was awful, right? Because I've only ever really been to big magic events in the most close to a convention sense. Jess, you watch this show in the shower sometimes? It's so trippy to have like my live streams referred to as like a show. I get what you're saying, but it's just like I'm just some random dude. You know what I mean? And I anybody can have a show. It's just it feels strange, but not in a bad way. Not in a bad way. Joe, what do you mean the wrong cards in your Modern Horizons 3 kit? Yes! Yes! Me! Me! I had the... Check it. Check it. This was in my pre-release kit. Can you believe this? It was tampered with. My pre-release kit was tampered with. But by the game store owner. He did that shit on purpose to troll my ass. At first, he had me all raring up to start talking about Wizard's terrible quality control. He's like, you thought you had something to talk about in your next video. And I'm like, you fucking dick. So yeah. Yeah, it happened to me. It happened to me. I told him I was going to play it in the event. And he's like, you can. It's officially sanctioned. Go for it. I didn't, because I wouldn't cheat like that. Also, I pretty much in every pre-release I go to, I just tell my opponents, yo, I'm probably not staying for the whole event, and I don't care about the wins. I just want to play and have a good time. So you automatically are going to be the victor of this, essentially. Like, you can, however you want to consider it, me pre-conceding to you, whatever it is, you get the win from this. We're just going to play. But at the end, it's going to be reported as you won. That's how it goes. And I have never had anybody have a problem with that. They've always just been like, oh, you're giving me the match and we're just going to play anyways? And it's like, correct. It's like, let's have a good time. And I end up winning most of the time. Like, so it's, if I was sticking, because it's like, you get an extra pack if you win all the way through, and I'm not going to stay all the way through. I'm like, well, I mean, sometimes I do. I have stayed through some, right? But after a certain point, me and my buddy are like, we're good, we're dipping, and that can vary from event to event. So I like to just be like, here you go, have the wins. And then they can play in a nice, relaxed way as well. I tell them straight at the beginning, you've already won this, just so you know. Now let's play, right? So you already get the win. This isn't any kind of deals are made or any kind of rules violation. I'm allowed to completely concede the match when it starts and then just sit and play casual games, the casual match, however you want to call it, right? There's no rules violations going on in any way, so I know what I'm doing. I don't want to get other people in trouble, right? We did. It's like, no, I literally, these aren't in tournament games. We're just playing. So everybody tends to be happy about knowing they have the win, and they will just play and relax. So if they make a mistake or misread a card, they're not going to get frustrated with themselves because they're trying to get the win, you know? It makes for just a chill time. I'm also fine with playing the other way, though. So sometimes I do stick around, play all the way through, and then win me that extra goodness. Millmath just got another one. Beating from a bum has a much higher chance of breaking a cell phone. It's true. Paper, good luck punching through paper. Right? It's on here, and I'm all marking myself. Let me in the fucking house! Who knows what movie that is? Who's gonna be the first to... Every time I do that, I do it too hard. Because I'm emulating him, and he's just slamming it against his chest, right? Because the dad comes up and pokes him on the chest like that, and then he just bam, 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 and hits himself there, which is pretty wild. It's pretty wild. Cranky, you shut your dirty whore mouth talking about loot being good. Loot is a fucking abomination upon this earth. He is a trash bag with a stupid, ugly face, and he is the ultimate downfall of everything that is glorious about magic. So you shut it. Paper cuts, though? Hey, Z, don't be a pussy, all right? If you can't handle paper cuts, then... Well, I mean, I can't tell you to do anything else because you're too much of a pussy to deal with paper cuts. So even the other things are worse. That's right, Shelly. That's right. Fuck Elmo loot. Fuck them. Thumbs down. Thumbs down. The only good loot is the dead loot. Haunted. Yes. Yes. Bo Falcon, Lost Boys. Was Marky Mark in the Lost Boys? And that is definitely not the movie. That is definitely not the movie. Now I got to double check that I know the title. I know that's not what it is. Yeah. Oh, and that should be a clue too. If you're really swift, you might be like, wait, how many keys did he just hit? Oh, he didn't hit that many keys. It can't be that long a name, right? Jugglem, how many loots do I have? Too fucking many. Too many. He's already given me a foil one, 2 regular ones, and 4 fucking loot dolls. All right? And a loot binder. And then I got my own. I got my own loots as well. Are they in this binder? No. You know the custom ones? The custom ones that I got for giveaways to people that I meet in person. Why do the reliquaries legit? Well, yeah, I guess I could take the opportunity to de-sleeve the deck while I'm sitting here. Bo Falcon, it is a vampire movie. It is. But I'm talking about a movie where a guy slams himself on the chest over and over like this. And another part of the movie, he takes Alyssa Milano and slings her over his shoulder and smacks that sweet ass. My brain just went through a whole sequence of things after I said that. And I was just like, she's not the young kid she was on Who's the Boss. And as soon as I thought that, it's like, it started to think of the actual theme song from the show. There's a time for something and a time for living. So take a chance and face the wind. Something about the road is open. Something like that. Arnold Commando. Marky Mark. Mark Wahlberg. Mark fucking Wahlberg. Nobody knows this movie? Its name is the same length as Loot's name. Joe! Joe got it. It's Fear. It's Fear, guys, with Marky Mark. He's after this. He's like dating this one girl. I barely remember anything about the movie. He's dating this one girl, and I think he like she finds out he's cheating or whatever, something like that. And the father comes up to him and is like, "Stay away from my daughter," and just pokes him on the chest. Just pokes him like, "Stay away from my daughter." And as he walks away, Marky Mark's just doing this, slamming himself in the chest over and over and over, right where he like put his finger in, so that he could go and show the daughter this big giant bruise that her dad had given him. And I think he's like a murderer by the end of it or something like that. I think. Majesty got back from the pre-release. The companion app crashed once you install bait. Well, you know what? The companion app might suck, but I doubt it could be worse than DCI Event Reporter, which is what they used before that, which was nightmarishly bad. Not as bad as doing pairings by hand, which I had to do when the reporter was down. But man, it was awful. It was awful. Webb, your local card shop doesn't have Modern Horizons 3 and now you're sad? Wow, why did the card shop not get Modern Horizons 3? Is it the price point? Do they not care that much about Magic? James, yep, that's right. It's Fear, big boy. You knew as well. Veil from Dusk Till Dawn is not the movie, but that is a good movie. You know what's not a good movie? Orson's Fortune. Orson's Fortune with Jason Statham. It is so middle of the road. It's like it's like a heist crew, but they work for the government, so they're the good guys kind of movie. And it's serviceable. Like, you can watch it. It's not so bad that you turn it off, but it's not so good that you'd ever watch it again. But it's just good enough to kind of keep watching because you're sitting there eating popcorn or whatever it is you're doing, right? Like, that's the level that the movie's at. It's one of those movies where you'll find yourself thinking about like other things during the movie. And they like, because your brain is there to be entertained. So there's a scene where there's just a bunch of dead people. They're extras, like slumped in chairs and stuff. And I'm like, I wonder what it's like being an extra. You're like, how long do you have to stay in this position? And it's like, you kind of want to look over at the famous people. And what if you just like accidentally rip a giant fart or something, and then they just kick you out? And you're like, this was the biggest thing. This was the biggest thing I was going to do. And like, I thought all this stuff. And then I went, oh, they're talking right now. And I'm absorbing none of it because the movie isn't interesting and what they're saying is dumb. So most of that movie was really boring. They have Aubrey Plaza in there. She is great in comedic roles. And she brings some comedy energy to this, but it doesn't mesh so well with the rest of the movie. I will say, she looks really fucking hot in this one red dress getup that they put her in. I'm like, wow, you know what? Like, I've only ever seen her in normal, like, trending towards tomboyish clothing. So to see her all glammed up, I was like, yeah, no, you sell it. You sell it. She doesn't really have anything rack-wise or whatever, but she looks good in the red dress. And the fact that I'm talking about this is because there's so little about the movie to actually talk about that's really of interest. There's like, she looks good in that one scene. There's an incredibly confusing, There's an incredibly confusing scene where like, Shelton with the PayPal saying, hope this lets you buy overpriced pizza at the convention. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. That's funny. Thanks, man. That's awesome. It makes me happy. It makes me happy that you guys are like excited that I'm going to places like this and I'm going to take some pictures and stuff. I don't know how much filming. I've never done convention stuff. So And I'm bad for getting distracted by the stuff that's going on. So I'm going to record things or take pictures, but I don't know how much I'm going to come back with versus stories and whatever. So either way, thanks for being excited, and thanks for the hookup. Get yourself some pizza at the convention. Doomblade Super Chat says, how was the card quality of the pre-release? Was it like bad across the board, or was it here and there? The card quality is as bad, like for my kit, it was as bad as the kit that we opened in the previous stream. So the card quality is lacking for sure. The cards, they have the noise where you can feel like it's like there's extra friction here because these cards are like gritty or rough, however you want to put it, right? Same thing where I still felt the crap on my fingers. So that's still a prevalent issue, unfortunately. And the one rare I got was all dinged along the bottom of it, straight out of the pack, which is a really feel bad thing, where it's like, guys, you're charging twice as much for this. And I know because of Magic 30 that you don't care and you won't do it even for the most expensive stuff. But you really should step up the card quality because it's rough, man. It's rough. It's rough. Magic's card quality is one of the biggest shames of the current incarnation of the game. So, the weird scene, the only scene that really pretty much got a reaction out of us was you've got Jason Statham, who is like one of the spy agency guys who's there. He's trailing this guy. He's trailing him, and the guy he's trailing gets wind of it and realizes he's being tracked by his cell phone. So he asks, the guy who's trying to escape being surveilled, get away from the spy. He goes to the top of this really tall building, and he finds someone else there and asks him, hey, he's like taking a selfie of himself, and he's like, hey, can you help me with this? Like, can you take a picture for me? And the guy's like, sure. And so like, he's like, can you do it with your phone or whatever, like kind of thing, so I can see what it looks like on that? And so he does it, and he comes over and looks at the guy's phone, and then he puts his cell phone in that guy's pocket. And you're just like, oh, okay. He's going to leave the cell phone in that guy's pocket, and that guy will walk off, and then Spy Dude will chase him, right? But no, he puts his phone in that guy's pocket, and then it turns out he's pushed him off the top of the building. So he just dies on the ground with the cell phone in his pocket, right? And so you go, that seems really extreme. Like, the dude wasn't like a murderer. I think he was just some regular level dude or something like that. I could be wrong about that, but he didn't really seem like any kind of murderer. And he straight up killed this guy to have the cell phone stay stationary at the bottom of this tower, right? And so you just go, well, I guess he didn't want the guy to walk off, because maybe if he goes off in the same direction as the guy did, then it'll still be close and he'll still be able to find him. So to make sure he doesn't go anywhere, he shoves him off the building. Like, that's what I thought. So then Jason Statham gets to the top of the building, and he looks around, and sure enough, Buddy is gone, and he sees the dead guy down there. And then the guy who pushed the other guy off the building, who I thought used the opportunity to run the hell away, he just comes running from around the corner and just tries to shove Jason Statham off the building. And Statham just grabs him and throws him off the edge like it's nothing. And it was just so fucking absurd. And it like made so little sense that we were both just like, whoa, what? Like, it was nonsensical. So that was ridiculous and the most memorable part of the movie. Hugh Grant stood out so much compared to everybody else. Like 100%. 100%. His performance was great. Like, I'm not saying it was like his best performance and it's like world-class acting, but he did a good job with the character that he was playing. He was a middleman who was brokering a deal between some different criminal organizations, right? And after things go sideways, the deal still happens, but he's cut out of it, right? And so the other guys are like, we're not going to pay you anything and whatever. And up until this point, it wasn't really obvious how Hugh Grant, like, he's an old random dude where you're just like, how does this guy expect to demand money from these other guys? Where it's just like, okay, Grandpa, what are you going to do? Just go away kind of thing, right? And he's just like, I always get paid. And then he sits down and he sits down in front of this window. This part was pretty cool. I liked this part of the movie where he sits down on the couch in front of this fucking window and he's like, I'm going to tell you why you're going to pay me. And he's just like, you see that building back there slated for demolition? What do you think it would take to blow that up? And then he starts listing amounts of explosives or whatever. And he's like, or how about a missile, right? And then he's just like, 3, 2, 1. And then the missile blows up the building. Like, there's like a missile fucking strike. Genuine missiles start blowing up where he indicated behind him, right? Like, boom. And it's just like, whoa. And then he pulls out a list. He's like, here you go. Here's a list of all the people I believe you guys care about. So you have 5 minutes for me to make a phone call saying you've paid me, or these people are all going to be fucking dead. Right? Like, he literally was like, I will fire missiles at every single one of your loved ones. I will blow them the fuck up if you don't give me my money. And it was like, we hadn't seen him do anything thuggish or violent or anything up until that point in the movie. So it really came out of left field, but it was fucking sweet. Like, it was sweet. I liked that. But it doesn't make it worth it to watch the movie. Alexander, just stopping by to say you've been enjoying my videos and thanking me for making regular content. No problem, buddy. Thanks for taking the time to tell me. I appreciate the positivity. It is much better than the people who just like to wank at me and go, you're cringe and I hate you and I don't want to watch you anymore. I want to live with my mom. And I'm like, no, you'll live with me, young man. Doomblade, the best twisty action movie you've seen so far is Bullet Train. Bullet Train was good, man. Buddy just bam, bam, bam on the glass, and it's like, oh, you're awesome. You're awesome. What was his name? Tangerine? Yeah, give me some of that. Give me some of that. Cabby, what's up, man? Congratulations, buddy. Jess, you were getting on your bike and they just ripped because they're old now? Yeah. They just ripped because you put a fucking dildo on your bike seat and you want to become a human shish kebab, right? But nobody here needs to know that. So keep it to yourself. Duct tape up your your shorts and your hole and your mouth hole too. Shut it. Sheldon, you saw Operation Fortune in the theater? You poor bastard. Like, for real. Does anything I say sound inaccurate about it? Like, what else was good in that movie? You know? So yeah, that's on my list of I have seen that movie, but meh. I started to make a list. Of all the movies that I've like watched so that I know, so that I don't go and watch them again. And I made little notes beside some of them, like The Man with the Iron Fist, just like things to make me remember. Wu-Tang Blacksmith. And then I'll be like, oh yeah, that's the RZA as the fucking Man with the Iron Fist. The Warrior's Way, I got Cowboy Assassin. Operation Fortune, I have Hugh Grant good. That's it. Alexander, your favorite movie is Ex Machina? Really? I loved Ex Machina right up until the movie like got stupid and I went, fuck you. Oh, fuck you. Fuck you, movie. It did it on like, there's a certain thing that a movie will do where I will just go, you have ruined this now. I hope you understand that this fucking ruins pretty much everything that you've done. That's what it feels like, right? That's what happens to me with particular movies. And Ex Machina was like that. I was like, this is awesome. Whoa, he's getting so much in Buddy's head that he's like, am I real? Like, that was cool. This guy's like he's brilliant, and he's fucking 15 steps ahead of everybody, playing 7-dimensional chess, all this stuff. Right up until the fucking scene with like the fucking dumbbell or whatever, where it's like, all right, there's a problem with my robot. I gotta beat it in the head with a rod. Sorry, you would have ways to deal with this. Shut down all this stuff. This is not how you can't get stupid now. This is stupid. You're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to go, this guy's a genius, and check out all the stuff he's doing. Also, gork, no, fucking no. Like, that just, the whole thing, I could not get past it. I couldn't get past it. I was just like, yeah, okay, you leave him trapped in there. Who cares? None of this should have happened. Because Buddy was smart enough to ensure it wouldn't. But they just had to make him dumb. There's no way to shut down your robots. You didn't build in a switch to stop your robots. Nothing. So you're like, oh, robot's broken. Time to fucking bash it. Like, bro, we just watched you play crazy head games with this dude to the point where he's not even sure if he's a fucking human anymore. Because you've created like pseudo life almost, bro. And then donk, and you're just like, what? No, fucking no. And so I just went, fuck you, movie, fuck you. Like, for real, you can't do something like that. It's too big. I've accounted for everything except this thing. And what do you do then? Bash it. It's what? Hit it like a VCR that ain't working. I can't. Doomblade, yeah, characters dying and heartfelt moments. You don't get a lot of that. People survive lots of stuff now. Alexander, I'm not telling you not to like it, bro. I'm just expressing what it was that absolutely made it. Like, I was right into that movie. Like, I was like, this is great. This is fucking stupid. Fuck you. That's how it went. Like, I just had a big, oh, fuck you. I hate I'm brilliant, but there's not going to be a brilliant way that I fucking get stopped or whatever. And there's other ways to make what you want to have happen, but they couldn't be bothered to think of it. And it's just so aggravating compared to everything else that you've seen that it undoes the awesomeness of the movie, where I'm like, I'm never going to watch that again. Because I know that, like, if you're supposed to be impressed by him earlier, I'm like, you're the idiot who didn't even set an auto shutdown on your robots, you fucking Magoo. So I'm supposed to think that you're some hotshot manipulating this guy? You're fucking stupid. You're stupid and you're going to die. And nuts to you, dick face, pound sand, right? That's the deal. Like, I will get so annoyed, I will yell at the movies and stuff, right? Like, I don't think I ever yelled at anything more than Gantz. I'm just yelling, just fucking shoot! Just fucking shoot! Like, it's so annoying. Brent, Operation Fortune was almost worth it on the big screen for action and explosions? Really? I don't think so. I'm with Shelton. It was forgettable. Rewatched Godzilla -1. See, the reason I haven't watched Godzilla -1 is because there's only one Godzilla, and if you -1, that leaves you with 0 Godzillas, and I'm not going to watch a movie with no Godzillas in it, so that's the way math works. You're not fooling me into watching whatever. That's probably some kind of historical thing about Abraham Lincoln. So I'm not getting clickbaited, bro. Can't stand when characters in a movie don't have basic communication that would avoid a huge problem. Yeah. When they avoid having the normal conversation that anybody would have and go, hey, this just happened. You know what I mean? And you're like, just tell them. And they just say like vague other things. And it's like, so movie can happen. It's, bro, you can write it in a way where you can have whatever you want. But like, don't make us go, what? Like, you would just say this. Anybody would just say this. You know, it's like the same thing they have going on with horror movies, where it's just like, hey, there's Death Mansion. Thousands of people have died up in there. Oh, well, I'm staying there tonight to shoot an Instagram video. And then it's just like, I hear screaming down the hall. I should go and investigate. No, you should get the fuck out. Get out, idiot. Right? Millmass, you think the greatest action movie ever made is The Killer? Oh, you know what? I have a list. I have a list of movies that I found today that I've written down. The Killer is actually on here. It's located right down here. I was like, I'm gonna Google like a big fat list of action movies because that's what we've been on a kick of, and I'm just gonna get a whole large sampling of some that'll probably be good and some that might be bad, but they all look pretty interesting to me. Or well, I barely look. I looked at the cover, like the cover image for the movie, as it were, if it was a cassette, because that's what they show them in, which I dig, and like the little description. Sometimes the actors, the actors in a movie very much influence whether I want to see a movie. If there's an actor I don't like on the cover, and it seems like it's mostly going to be them, I'm like, I can skip this one, unless I'm told it's really good. Bo Falcon, Morgan is similar to Ex Machina, but a different twist. All right, well, I don't think I've ever heard of Morgan. You're not talking about that Megan horror movie, right? I saw that. That wasn't very good. Also, they would totally make sex bots like that. Brent, like you said, almost. It doesn't hold up to the action movie. Yeah, you know what? It does. It wasn't like good action, and like there was. It's like they had the recipe. They knew what the recipe was, but they were using ingredients that were past their best by date. So you got something that wasn't very fresh, but you could eat it, right? Yeah, we should split up. We'll cover more ground that way. Great idea. Just some random murderer out there. Space Jam number one. Oh no, Space Jam's not on the list because I don't hate myself. Why would I watch Space Jam? Why on earth would I fucking watch Space Jam? I didn't watch it when it came out, and I don't need to see it now. It's a very dumb idea. Michael Jordan and the Looney Tunes team up to fight aliens or some shit at basketball. There's never gonna be a situation where I'm like, I've seen everything I want to see. Time for Space Jam, right? Does World War Z count as an action movie? I have no idea. I haven't seen it. No, Mathregan is not Morgan. Okay, Bo Falcon. Fair enough. Millmaster, they did a Time Bandit remake? Well, they don't have dwarves in anything now, right? Like Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs did it have a dwarf? It was like Snow White and 7 random people. It was some shit like that. Which is fucking hilarious. Doomblade, you saw Jurassic World in IMAX 3D and it was epic? Huh, alright. I saw one of the Jurassic Park movies in the theaters. And it wasn't the first one. It was the first one that had Chris Pratt in it. And there's the kids in a big sphere at some point. There's like, they ride around the park in a big glass sphere and there's a problem. Have I seen Godzilla -1? No, we already talked about it. Godzilla's not in that movie, so I won't watch it. But I did write down on my list. Jess says, Who Framed Roger Rabbit is the only acceptable cartoon real-world movie. Who Framed Roger Rabbit is a well-made movie, honestly. It's great. It's great. It's not action, but have you seen the menu? Does the menu end with her going, I'd like a cheeseburger? Is that the movie that ends with her requesting a cheeseburger? because if it is, yeah, I've seen it. That movie is fucked. That movie is enjoyable. It's fucking different. It's different. Yeah, the menu is a different one. And that was the easiest way to figure out if it was that movie without really giving any spoilers. Just the cheeseburger one. It's like you'd be watching that movie like, what does any of this have to do with a fucking cheeseburger? Ball Falcon, you didn't think Godzilla minus one was that great? It's okay, but nothing special. I've heard tons of high praise for it. Have I seen Pan's Labyrinth? I think I did like a million years ago. I remember there's a thing like this, but it might have been from the ads. So, in the interest of not forgetting it, I'm going to write it down because this is my big book now. Because I was writing it down on pieces of paper, but they get lost and lost track of. This way, that doesn't happen. Doomblade, your mom dressed as Jessica Rabbit one Halloween. It was freaking weird. Jessica Rabbit has the fucking sweet ass proportions, bro. Potts, I agree. Roger Rabbit does still hold up today. Me and Carly watched it, like, I don't know, in the last year, I'd say. Juggalo, you know what? I really liked 28 Days Later, the first time I saw it. I tried to watch it with Carly. She found it to be too slow to be enjoyable for her. She wasn't vibing on it. Although, you know what? I'm gonna put it back on the list in case I want to watch it on my own, because the slow pace of it wasn't bothering me. And maybe she'll feel differently another day. Melbass says, I remember seeing Jurassic Park on opening day. It used to be fun to feel something. Bro, I understand that vibe 100%. Like, I have fun with my current era Magic experience, but sometimes when I look at like old revised cards and stuff, I miss the days where like the world was different. Like the internet wasn't a thing that people fucking used, really. We just like it technically existed like off to the side, but it wasn't this all-encompassing thing that was firmly entrenched in our lives, right? It was very much a side thing at best. And I don't know, man, Magic was very, very special in that beginning era, the journey of discovery where you couldn't go online and see everything that existed. So you explored the game through actually opening boosters, playing against people. There was no master list to see it all. You had no idea of the limits of anything, like what that sets any of it, right? And just all of it. Although I'm sure part of that is just the experience of being young too, right? There's other elements to it as well. But like, I get that vibe, and I feel like I mean, I'm still having an awesome time with Magic. The going to the movies experience hits way harder, where it's just like, I really want to go out to the movies, but there's so few movies they put out that are worth going to anymore. Like Deadpool and Wolverine are worth going to see, right? That's what I feel like. I feel like that movie's going to be good. I was talking to my buddy today when we went out to the pre-release. We were talking about the movies and the new Planet of the Apes, and he was talking about how his wife wanted to see it, but he forgot that she wanted to see it, so he watched it on his own at home, and then she started talking about it, and then he's just like, oh, I gotta go to the theater with her to see that now, and like, because she wants to see it. And then I said, it's not worth seeing a second time, is it? And he's like, no. Certain you miss seeing new decks. Remember thinking Sarah Angels were common? They were uncommon back in the day, right? That was in the original printing, they were uncommon. Jess, the Venom 3 trailer is out. I don't care about Venom. I didn't find the Venom movie to be compelling. I found it to be very middle of the road. Like, I don't know. I have recollections of the suit or something being, you're a loser like me, or something like that, or I don't even know. And I was like, what is this? And then he like eats people off screen and stuff. Like movies, that's something that was weird about Operation Fortune, is There was no blood. Carly commented on it. She's like, people keep getting shot and stabbed, and there's literally no blood. And at the end of the movie, there's a little bit of blood on one guy's face, and it's like, this is weird. It's weird. Millmaster, you don't like slasher movies? Yeah, they don't do anything for me. I definitely don't like movies like Saw. Like, I don't like gore movies that are gory for the sake of it. I'm fine with even excessive over the top violence in a movie if it serves the story. For example, in Pulp Fiction, when they're talking to the guy in the back and he's just got his gun resting on the like back seat or whatever, and or the front seat, I guess, and then they hit a bump and his hand bolts and his hand boom and the trigger it just goes off accidentally, blows this guy's fucking head apart all over the car. It's pretty gross, but it's just like a whoa crazy moment in the story. That kind of stuff is totally fine by me, but like excessive I'm not into. It's got to be in service of the story, not in service of spectacle. You know what I mean? Certain they were uncommon, but you got them every time you got packs. Well, back in the day, they were good trading fodder. Have I ever seen Battle Los Angeles? That's a good question. I don't know. Battle LA. A squad of space Marines. Why did I say that? A squad of U.S. Marines becomes the last line of defense against a global invasion. No, I haven't. I definitely haven't seen that. I don't know if it looks good enough, but I'll note it down. It's hard to know 100% whether a movie's going to be good when you just like take a quick peek at some of the information. But whatever, it'll make the list for now. Nothing you remember getting mad when Sarah Angel was your rare in the 7th edition packs? I thought it was wonky that she was rare, but I was just happy to see her back. Doomblade, yeah, Saw's not for me, bro. Millmaster, I can't take the I can't watch dance movies. They angry up the blood too much. Brad, yeah, that's true. A good story can be spectacular, but when a bad story keeps using spectacles as an excuse to not get better, it's easy to lose interest. Yeah, if all you have is spectacle and no substance, that's going to wear off really fast. Real fast. What up, French? That's 4 yos. I've only got 2 yos. Actually, wait a minute. There we go. I got 4. I got 4 yos. I still can't believe. Well, I can believe, but you know, just as a turn of phrase, I can't believe that I happened to randomly buy a yo-yo on International Yo-Yo Day. Boondock Saints 1 and 2. I feel like I've watched Boondock Saints 2 and it left no impression on me. Boondock Saints, the first one, is a quite enjoyable film for sure. The fucking dad at the end with all the guns and stuff, man. Rangiku says, number 2 was terrible. If I don't remember a movie after I've seen it, that means it was bad and not even has some memorable moments to talk about later. Jess, it's been so long since I've seen Ninja Scroll, I can't remember anything about it, honestly. Animes, I don't know. There's only been like 1 or 2 where I've been too grossed out and been like, okay, shut this off. This ain't okay. There was one that was really messed up. I was like, what is this? What the fuck even is this? Usually when we're shutting one off, it's because it's just intolerable. Like there was this anime, I think it was called Level E, and it was so awful. So awful. Have I seen Stardust? I think I just was confusing that with that movie Milk. Stardust. What? Young man ventures into the realm of fairies to retrieve a fallen star. But he doesn't find Space Rock, he finds Claire Danes. Oh, Claire Danes is pretty cute. Oh, this is an older movie. No, I never heard of it. I'm going to write that down. Oh, and the Resident Evil movies. I don't think I've ever watched those. I got to watch, like, the John Wick stuff, too. There's so many movies. Oh, what was that terrible movie? I don't want to see it again. It had so much promise from the commercials, and I was so happy to go see it in the theater until the movie was playing. Oh, God. Oh, why can't I think of the name? It's got a blonde girl who's in like an insane asylum, and she does these crappy little dances, and while she's doing these dances, she's like transported into another realm in her mind where she's dressed in like mini skirts fighting gigantic like statues. And like I thought it was going to be awesome. I thought it was going to be a bunch of hot chicks and crazy epic fights. And like they hyped it up. When I was living in Toronto, they hyped it up. They had a squad of girls. They had squads of cute girls dressed up like the characters from the movie, running up to you as a group and going, "Oh, check out the movie." And it was like, "Hello, hot ladies." Yes, they looked great. Sucker Punch. That's it. Eric, Seth, Wangarang. Yeah, you guys all know. That's it. Sucker Punch. Yeah. That movie was so disappointing. Like the first fight where she starts fighting the statue, you know it's going to be terrible. You're just like, this is awful. Like awful. Couldn't enjoy it. I was so disappointed. Sitting in the theater going, "Oh, I got robbed." Oh, Blightsteel, you got into a Goy fight at the pre-release? Well, that's fun. Doomblade, any movie with The Rock as the main protagonist reminds you of eating fast food. You enjoy it when you're eating it, but don't really remember having it later on. Well, as long as you enjoyed it during, that's sufficient enough. I don't require that movies are entertaining. Like, I require that movies are entertaining. I don't require that they have a long-lasting impression on me. Certain movies do. Never Gonna Forget The Usual Suspects, right? That movie is awesome. So there's certain movies that they just leave an impact. You'll never forget them. Fight Club, But there's lots of movies I've seen I couldn't tell you anything about. I enjoyed them when I watched them. Don't remember a damn thing, right? Ballwagon, yeah, her name was Baby Doll? Nothing. The Super Mario movie just felt like... okay, it had some nostalgia twinging moments, but it ultimately left zero impression on me, and I was kind of meh afterwards. It's fine for kids, Millmaster, I'm not looking for a fucked up movies right now. Not really. Have I seen Collateral? I saw Collateral when it came out in the theaters a million years ago, and I only remember like a subway scene. That's it. So I remember like one scene from the movie and like some concepts from it. So it left an impression on me, and I actually did note it down on this list to watch because I'm like, Carly's never seen it. So I have some of the movies that are on this list I've seen a long time ago and Carly hasn't, but I'm starting to build my official gigantic movie list. Yeah, Juggle and Snatch. Snatch was a fun movie. I enjoyed that one. What up, Jules? Do I agree Groundhog Day is the best Bill Murray movie? I might have to look to like officially declare my 1000% agreement. I might have to look at a list of the movies, but he is great in Groundhog Day. Groundhog Day is a great movie, and I love the Groundhog's Day concept. That's how I refer to any cyclical time movie where it resets. It's all Groundhog's Day. And I'm always on the lookout for movies that wish to exploit that particular concept. Lock, Stock, Two Smoking Barrels. Yep, seen that one. What's Layered Cake? I've never heard of that. Benicio del Toro. Yeah, he's good. He's good. Bill Murray is really good in Ghostbusters. You're not wrong about that, Millmaster. Groundhog Day, you get more of him. He's the whole movie. So, but he is great in Ghostbusters. That is hard to deny. You'll note I said I had to look over a list of everything before 1000% agreement, because something else might come out of left field and be like, Rangiku, Edge of Tomorrow is Groundhog's Day. I enjoy it. The alien blood concept, all of that. That movie was very cool. I've seen that one. I've seen Boss Level. I've seen the one where they have to crawl back into a cave. I can't remember the name of that one, but I've seen that one. See some raving for Layer Cake. Yeah, okay, whatever. I've barely seen anything. And I'm like, alrighty. Okay, yep. The picture and like a little bit of the description is definitely enough for it to make the list. Shelton, you can say you've seen most of the Saw movies and they got worse as they added more installments. I don't doubt that. My favorite thing related to Saw is that in one of the scary movies they have Dr. Phil, and I think it's like Shaq, and he's telling him he's got to cut his foot off and encouraging him or whatever, and then he cuts the wrong foot off, and he's like, "What the hell?" The Dr. Phil, and Dr. Phil's like, "I don't know. I'm not a doctor. All I do is tell people to get real." And I laughed at that. That was fucking funny. What about Bob? I don't think I've ever seen that. Or did we? I don't know. Quill, that was from Scary Movie 4? Fair enough. Well, I don't know if I already read this and answered it, but Maggie, yeah, I did. I did have a good time at the pre-release. Have I seen Ready Player One? I think so. What movie does Bruce Willis kill Jack Black? Wait, what? What? Oh, yeah, I've seen Ready Player One. I've seen that. You guys ever see Things to Do in Denver when you're dead? Oh, yeah, Palm Springs. That's the name of the Groundhog's Day cave movie. That's right. That's right, Some. You got it. You got it. If you like Jet Li, Unleashed is his hardest movie. All right. Oh, you know what? I'll put it down. Why not? I like me some action. Ilvatar, your wife wanted a movie with a lot of cameos in it for her birthday coming up. Oh, that's a very specific request. So you chose Mars Attacks. Yeah, that'll do it. She hasn't seen it before and she knows most of the celebrities. It'll be a good watch. That's fun. That's fun. You got all the ack. You got that coming. That's a fun idea. Oh, the sniper movie where he shoots his. Oh, yeah, yeah, I've seen that. That's the Jackal, bro. That's the Jackal. I've seen that. I've seen that movie multiple times. I saw it in the theater. That was great. That movie was great. Quill talking about the Muppets. Now I got the intro song for the Muppets in my head. Lost in Translation, dramatic Bill Murray and young Scarlett Johansson. Yeah, that's the movie where you want them to get together, right? I remember that. I remember that. I saw that a billion years ago. Scarlett Johansson is fucking super hot, but she's also a really good actress. Like, I don't know. She seems like she's fucking intelligent. So, it seems like it would be a good score to hook up with a lady of that caliber. You know what I'm saying? So, she usually delivers good performances, and I enjoy her as an actress and just fucking straight up visually, bro. Reservoir Dogs is one of your favorite movies? Hell yeah, man. I'm fucking dying here. That movie's great. I've seen that a ton of times. It's crazy the stuff that pops into your head. Everything's connected, right? So now in my head, got looking back on the track for a little green bag. Gotta find just the kind. I'm losing my mind. If you like the Groundhog Day concept, check out Happy Death Day. That sounds familiar. Have I seen it? Oh, just typing in happy was enough for it to just jump to that. All right. All right. That might be all right. We'll see. We'll see. I'm not, with the whole looks like a horror, and horrors don't always go, well, usually don't go over well with me, honestly. I think the only horror movie I've ever seen that I was like into ever was It Follows. Now that movie definitely has some flaws. They really start to like just blow it at the end of the movie, but for a considerable part of that movie, I was as spellbound as I've ever been from a horror movie. I was watching it at some points with my mouth like it got me. It pulled me in. I was like, "Yo, this is great. I've never enjoyed a horror movie like this. What a cool experience. I'm having a great time." And then once you get to the pool scene, it falls apart hard. Also, it's screaming when it's a little boy and whatever. Like, it was better when it was nonverbal, right? That was one of the big things. It was relentless. It was just coming for you. It didn't have anything to say to you. It wasn't something you could try and reason with or express anything to, really. It's just an implacable force. You don't know of exactly what, but it's coming for you. So that was cool. Making it verbal killed a certain level of it. Then seeing how it actually kills really took it down. I was just like, oh, okay. Grandma grinds on you. Okay. And then that took it down. And then you get to the pool scene where now instead of it implacably coming at you, it starts whipping things at you in the pool, which is behavior it's never displayed before at all. It's just randomly doing this now. And you're just like, is it because the water hurts it? No. No, it's fine in the water. And it's like, okay, so why is this happening now? Because their plan would have worked or whatever, and we're not done for the movie to be done or something. And it's like, this sucks. Like, it went from like, yeah, to, huh. Have I seen Enemy of the State? I don't think so. No, I didn't. I haven't seen this. Oh, this is from like the 90s. All right. All right. I don't know. Maybe I'll check it out. No harm in putting it on the list because I won't remember it. Enemy is classic Will Smith. I've enjoyed Will Smith in a lot of movies. I didn't think he was that great in I, Robot. I did like him in Hancock. Hancock was fun. Hwangarang! You think that I'll laugh more at Happy Death Day than grip the edge of the seat? Oh, that's good. That's good. P.S. I'm poor right now. Thank you for reading my words, guy. Well, you know me. I don't require people give me super chats to read what they're saying. I have seen streams like that, and it was right down. It was like super chat for acknowledgement, and I'm like, wow, okay. It's like I won't acknowledge your existence otherwise. You got literally have to pay me, but everyone's different, right? So what are you gonna do? Jugum, you're thinking about how much you love Biodome? That movie's dumb. Nothing. You just watched Independence Day? Welcome to Earth. Independence Day, I saw that in the theater with my dad. And the scene where the spaceship opens up before it blows up the fucking White House or whatever, or levels that building, whatever it is, before it blasts down, um, my dad just yells out into the theater, boom! And like a bunch of people turn to look at him, me included. He's like, what? You know it's going to happen. It's like, come on, man. Come on. Of course, I've yelled stuff out in the theater, too. What are you going to do? What are you going to do, right? Every day, coming to take the Lord of the board. All right. Price is Right and Doomblade on up out of here. What up, Kellaway? How you doing, bro? There's a Netflix movie with Will Smith called Blight. Too bad there'll never be a part two. Do you mean Bright? Where they have like orcs or something like that? Source Code, yeah, Bo. I've seen that one. He's like a military guy. I've seen it. Weren't they supposed to make Independence Day 3? Did they make an Independence Day 2? Why would I even go and see a second one? Ned, you PayPal'd me some Comic-Con support. Is PayPal something I can turn into a verb? Yes. Yes, you can. Oh, Zircon! Zircon said something too. He said, let's top off the con fund. Have fun. No board needed. Zircon, thanks, buddy. Sorry if I didn't notice that before. And Ned says, Comic Cons are expensive. Enjoy, brother. Oh, thank you, good sir. Thank you. All right. That's fucking sweet. Yeah. You guys are awesome. Thank you. We're going to have a fucking great time at the con. Thank you. Have I seen Demolition Man? Yes. Yes, Demolition Man's amazing. Demolition Man is amazing. It's crazy good. Certain Mike says those are rookie numbers, and yes, with orcs and stuff. I haven't seen that movie. I've seen like clips from it. I think I saw a movie talking about it. Not a movie, like a YouTube video. What am I talking about? All right, certain you lower the board, big boy. Oh, well, thank you, my friends. Thank you for coming and hanging out. A special thank you to the people who gave me the money through PayPal for the Comic-Con tomorrow. And if you see this live stream tomorrow and you want to be part of that group, you can PayPal me while I'm at the Comic-Con. I won't complain. Thanks to everybody who came and hang out, and all the super chatters for this stream too. All of it. Thanks, guys. You guys rule. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow after I come back from the convention. All right? But for now, I got to go get some rest in the realm of the dead.